Welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters, and if you're new to the channel, I am Oldhead Gaming, of course. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for all horror ASM information, and turn on the notification bell for all videos just like this. And today we're talking about the 7.2.0 Chapter 29 update that's going to bring us Alien, of course. And as you can see, I am all ready for my Ripley impression from Alien 3. We're both bald, we're both beautiful, of course, and now it's time to look at the actual patch notes. And the 7.2.0 update will be live at 11 a.m., and of course the chapter will be buyable at normal at 12 p.m. And here's what we're going to get, of course. The first piece of content is the Xenomorph as our new killer. Killer power is Hidden Pursuit. A series of tunnels become available on the map when the Xenomorph is in play. By accessing a control station, it can enter the tunnel, quickly move around, direct the presence of nearby survivors, speed up and cool down the crawler mode enabled ability. Exiting a control station tags nearby survivors with Killer Instinct. Special ability Crawler Mode. The Xenomorph enters Crawler Mode automatically when not on cooldown. In Crawler Mode, the Xenomorph walks on all four legs, becomes stealthier, reducing its terror radius. While in Crawler Mode, the Xenomorph also has access to Tail Attack, which is pretty awesome because as we've seen on the PTB and during the stream I did, you can go through basically anywhere that Trickster would hit with a dagger. You can go right through with your tail. You can go over drop pallets. There's a lot of cool things you can do with it. Map features, control stations. This is where you come in and out of. This is also where they'll get the turrets. Special item, remote flame turrets. Speak of the devil. Turrets can be placed on the map to counteract the Xenomorph. When the Xenomorph enters the radius line of sight of a turret, the turret attacks, staggers the Xenomorph, and will cause crawler mode to end. If a turret successfully knocks the Xenomorph out of crawler mode or fires for too long, it overheats and will need to be repaired by survivors. The Xenomorph can attack and destroy the turret. Alright, let's take a look at the Xenomorph's perks. If you haven't really taken a look at them, I'm going to kind of go over them quickly. First one is Ultimate Weapon. When you open a locker, this perk activates. Survivors entering your terror radius scream and reveal their position and gain blindness for 30 seconds. The perk's cooldown is 40, 35, or 30 seconds. Rapid Brutality. You can no longer gain Bloodlust. Hitting survivor with a basic attack gives you 5% for 8, 9, 10 seconds. Alien Instinct. This perk activates when you hook a survivor. You see the furthest injured survivor for 5 seconds, and that survivor is oblivious then for 16, 18, or 20 seconds. And of course, when we'll be doing the stream tonight, we'll be going for Adept Xenomorph, which of course will be using these 3 perks. We also get a new survivor. That's right, the badass Ellen Ripley. Now, of course, we know she does not look like Sigourney Weaver, but this is what her perks are. The first one is Lucky Star. When you hide in a locker, this perk activates. You leave no pools of blood, make no grunts of pain for 10 seconds. When you exit the locker, you see other survivors, and the closest generators are yellow for 10 seconds. This perk goes into cooldown for 40, 35, or 30 seconds. Chemical Trap, which in my opinion is kind of her coolest perk. After completing 70, 60, or 50% progress on any generator, this perk activates. While standing next to a dropped pallet, press the active button to install a trap, which active for 100, 110, or 120 seconds. The order of the trap pallet is revealed in yellow. When the killer performs a break action on the trap pallet, the trap explodes and they're slowed by 50% for 4 seconds. Light-Footed is her final perk. When you are healthy, this perk activates. Your running footsteps are silent. This perk goes on cooldown for 28, 24, or 24 seconds after doing a rushed action. So you're silent, you're silent, you're silent. You jump over a pallet, you jump through a window as a rushed action. Boom, you're on cooldown. They can hear your footsteps again.
Network will pick me up.
And then
This is Ripley.
And of course, the final thing
Last
added
survivor of
is
the
the Nostromo wreckage, and that's just the new map.
Signing off.
PTB live changes. Here's what they've changed coming off of the PTB. Increased Xenomorph movement speed whilst traveling the map in tunnel from 18 milliseconds was 16 seconds. He's a little faster now in them tunnels. While inside the tunnel, when it is proximity of an exit, the tunnel connection to the control station are as highlighted for the killer. Improved visual feedback of the tail attack for players. Fixed an obstruct tail attack animation going through objects for survivors. Movement speed after missing a tail attack has been increased for 2 milliseconds was 1.2. Destroyed turrets now take 60 seconds to return to a control station instead of 45. That's a good fix, I think. Multiple turrets firing a killer no longer stack, also good. The Xenomorph will not lose power faster if it's attacked by more than one turret. When burned by a remote flame turret with crawler mode ending, power recovery now starts after 1 second was 2. So your regen's a little faster. That's pretty good. Like, I felt like there were some tweaks they needed to do with the turret. Everything else felt really good on the PTB, in my opinion. When burned by remote flame turret without crawler mode ending, power now recovers at 25% was 20. A turret being carried by a survivor now provides audio radar feedback to any survivor in range. Well, that's good. Slightly decrease the turret's placement restriction and turret collision to allow a bit more flexibility with locations. Emergency helmet add-on is now rare instead of uncommon rarity. Now offers 35% increased resistance against instead of 50. Brett's cap add-on is now uncommon rarity, was rarity, and adjusted Xenomorph's chase music because it sounded terrible. All it sounded like was windshield wipers going back and forth, and no one on the PTB liked it, including yours truly. What are these killer tweaks? The Knight. Pillaged Me decreased the amount of time it takes to guard to complete their order action by 15%, was 25. Tatter Tabard increased patrol time for all guards by 8 seconds, was 6, so that's a little bit of a buff. Town Watch's Torch when survivors escape guards hunt without being hit 2 times, was 3. The Knight gains undetectable status for 25 seconds. The Demo Puppy. Killer Prowler undetectable after teleport lasts 5 seconds, was 3. Rat Tail increased speed of portal by 50%, was 35. Was 35. Unknown Egg decreases the cooldown after traversing upside down 2.5 seconds, was 1.5. Violet Wax Cape increases the duration of was a half a second, and Lepro's Lichen reveals the aura survivors while traversing the upside down after emerging from a portal. All the survivors in this aura within 16 meters are revealed for 3 seconds. Now, this is necessary because basically they have a very, I want to say same, but similar approach with playing Demo Puppy versus playing Xenomorph. And so if Demo Gorgon is that much worse than Xenomorph, no one's going to play him for those who have him. So it was good to buff his traverse abilities a bit, so that way if you have Demo Gorgon, he doesn't feel like he's useless now. The only audio update was for Jonah's Grunts of Pain. Features PC graphics updates. Now setting change to FPS limit, so you can kind of do that. You can toggle off anti-aliasing. Setting resolution option update. It's time to take a look at those bug fixes. All right, archives. It all leads here. Master Challenge description has been fixed to improve objective clarity, and Mastering Deadly Senses challenge description has improved to increase clarity as well. Audio. Survivor pick the HUD solution no longer heard when the Trapper or the Cenobite pick up their respective killer item. And tally screen music is now properly heard if the trial ending while Singularity was controlling a biopod. What are they doing with them good old bots for those people who decide to DC? They're more likely to be productive in a terror radius. Good, because before all they did was crouch down, and that was not helpful at all. Other than maybe having a killer see it, just squatting there and say, I should probably kill that. Bots' behavior has improved when facing killer sidekicks such as Nemesis Zombies or Knight's Guards, and they no longer attempt to confuse the killer by crouch walking. This was the only thing they did. They were in like permanent urban evasion. Bots now investigate supply crates more often. They now telepathically communicate to avoid multiple bots running into the same area to heal or unhook a survivor at the same time. And reverse bear traps no longer cause bots to freeze when the exit gates are open. Alright, what do we do with some of them characters? Now, when facing Sadako, VHS is now properly aligned in the survivor's hand. Extra sound effects no longer play when specific killers pick up a killer item. We already talked about that. The hide action is no longer executed upon entering an interaction zone when holding an input. Nurse's spasmodic breath no longer increases carrying speed. Survivors no longer lose deep wound when grabbed by killer during a vault. Survivors hiding in a locker and hit by the artist's diacrows are now correctly revealed by the killer. Twins no longer enter a broken state when switch control, being stunned simultaneously. The knight is now correctly able to summon a second guard at the same location as the first summon. Survivors hit by Deathslinger's harpoon will now correctly play pain, injury, or grunts upon hit. Undetectable status no longer triggers. Play with your food. When emerging from a portal as the demo puppy, our reveal is now correctly distance limited. Entering a locker no longer clears duration of blindness effect from killer perks and add-ons. The Cenobite's Mori animation is no longer misaligned with survivors. Killer's camera is now properly aligned with the killer's orientation. Getting hit by Sadako no longer causes survivors to have a VHS tape in hand start retrieving the X1. And Dredge no longer breaks locks with basic attack while inside a locker. Alright, what perks have been changed? Survivor's aura is no longer revealed to the killer when in range of a cleansed dull totem when using perk Hex Undying. Friendly competition now completely activates when a generator is completed by a bot. Survivors can no longer bypass overcharge quickly by repairing the generator and leaving. Blood pack no longer fail to activate when using an anti-hemorrhage syringe. The effects of plot twists are now correctly disabled after being hooked. And Scene Partner perk is now correctly activated by the Terror Rated, so a Xenomorph. Okay, and platform. Steam experiencing network issue will no longer cancel an existing lobby. Well, that's good. UI fixes, I always just kind of skip them because they're kind of irrelevant. Miscellaneous, fix an issue where wrong killer's power could appear in the loadout menu. Disconnected players can no longer spectate a game from the disconnected form. This was for those who were watching chess matches after leaving. Fixed an issue where the game crashes when the Cenobite teleports to the Lament configuration. So when he hops and tries to come on you, he doesn't cause the match to go bye-bye. All right, Xenomorph since the PTB. When in tunnel, horizontal distance no longer counts towards perks. Distance requirements. Flame turns can no longer be placed in a way to block a pass from the killer or potentially block access for survivors. Fixed infrequent crash when starting custom match as Xeno. Breaking down a flame turret while holding a limited item no longer causes the survivor to be unable to place the turret. Xenomorph's tail placement is no longer affected by survivors. Xenomorph no longer alerts crows on the map when in runner mode. Placeholder white orb no longer visible in Haddonfield when the killer is the Xenomorph. Flame turn's radius visual effects no longer remains visible while performing other animations. Flame turn no longer rotates in survivor's hands when performing gestures. Survivors who are grabbed from a locker no longer keep their flame turret. When exiting a control station as Xeno, it is no longer possible to see out of the world. The acidic blood add-on now displays correctly. Iconic in exiting a tunnel. Survivors can no longer pick up multiple flame turrets. Performing a breakdown flame turret action while screaming no longer causes the turret to fire. Visual effects display correctly. The haste effect icon is now shown properly when playing Xenomorph with Parker's headband add-on. Xenomorph no longer pops into view in the main menu, and when in a tunnel, Xenomorph's off-screen indicator tracking moving survivors no longer jitters. Also changed some perks since the PTB. Xenomorph and Ellen Ripley perks are now in the right order in the character info scene. That's nothing. Tail attacks now correctly consume play with your food tokens. That should have happened from the get-go. Blast Mine and Wiretap can no longer be placed on generators with 0 progress. Chemical Trap can no longer stay active after being broken by one of the Knight's guards. And Chemical Trap HUD indicator no longer starts with progress or ends early. PTB adjustments, there was some audio. Bots now avoid running to heal a down survivor with a nearby killer. Characters, fix an issue that caused Jonesy not to appear and disappear correctly in the lobby. Fix an issue causing a laser to be too intense playing against the Xenomorph. Multiple Jonesies will no longer spawn as part of a menu idle animations. Fix an issue caused the hillbilly to clip through the camera during basic attacks or hooking a survivor. Fixing to cause Singulator to drop carried survivors on the ground between its legs rather than dropping them on the side. Fixed an issue that caused Spirit Sword to not fully reset when attacking twice while holding a survivor. Fixed an issue that caused male survivors to hold first aid spray towards themselves when using it on their teammates. Fixed an issue that caused the Skull Merchant's elbow to bend and stretch during the animation in the lobby when equipped with Executive Terror Torso Cosmetic. Finally, fixed an issue that caused survivors still hold VHS tapes when attempting to retrieve it from a TV set after losing a VHS tape being hit by Sadako. All right. Removed incorrectly distributed Attack on Titan cosmetics from players on the Windows Store. Players on Switch will improperly synchronize time now and start the game. Feedback groups should now be correctly localized in Legion, and the shape have new portrait renders on the selection screen for UI stuff. Miscellaneous fixed a crash that could occur when queuing up for a trial and restored missing cosmetics that were reported as lost in 7.1.0 release. Now, here's the last 3 things, and those are some known issues. Crawler mode is incorrectly slated as runner mode in-game and will be updated in the future update. Instability may occur when full screen mode setting is used when the game is out of focus. And due to an issue with the Temple of Purgation, the map has been temporarily removed from rotation. The offering The Last Mass has also been disabled until this issue is addressed. And that's it. So let's be honest, there's not a whole lot that we didn't kind of see coming. We knew, of course, that Xenomorph was going to be the killer and Ellen was going to be the survivor. And we knew Jonesy was going to be playing his little part in the animation menu, as well as on the new map, the Nostromo, where he kind of hops in and out of lockers and stuff. And there's a lot of fun stuff. There's also some additional Easter eggs on the map as well. And we knew that Demogorgon was going to get a slight buff, so he didn't become irrelevant because of Xenomorph. And we knew that there was going to be some kind of quick tweaks and adjustments. So other than a little bit of adjustment from the PTB to now and some stuff that got fixed or tweaked, it's pretty much kind of what we expected, which is a good thing. So not a huge amount of like major surprises. I, of course, will be doing our stream tonight about 5:30 p.m. where we'll be going for both Adept Ellen Ripley and Adept Xenomorph. We'll be playing with all the subscribers, of course, and having a great time doing some DBD Alien tonight. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and later, mates.